Some new details have emerged regarding the confrontation between Ricky Thornton Jr. and Chris Madden that led to security being called following the last race at World Finals on Saturday night that saw Chris Madden beat Ricky Thornton Jr. and claim the win, and Brandon Shepard beat out Bobby Pierce and win his fifth World of Outlaws title. Wrote this up over at stockcarreport.com. And obviously, there was this confrontation between Madden and Thornton, who clearly have no love lost between them, despite the two of them working together to win the Luke Soil Late Model Dirt Series Championship earlier this year, with Madden crew chiefing for Ricky Thornton Jr. This bad blood that they seemingly now have kind of started on Friday night when Thornton found himself at the top of a 3-wide with Madden in the middle, above Ethan Dotson coming out of turn 4. Madden got into Thornton's door and had him sideways. Thornton, I think, did an amazing job of saving the car and only lost a single position to Dotson. Meanwhile, Madden had to check up and then play bumper cars off of Jonathan Davenport's door. Here's a look at that right here. Let's take a look.
Down the back straightaway, Thornton upset the car just a little bit. That allows for Madden to go 3-wide. Trouble, Thornton sideways. Somehow keeps it straight. Here comes Davenport to the inside of Madden. The gloves are...
So obviously that looks like a racing deal to me. Hard to tell what exactly happened. Obviously Ruben is there saying that Ricky got up off the cushion. Hard to tell because we didn't really get to see what was happening a little bit before that. But clearly a racing deal. Obviously they're all tight packed there and they're kind of bouncing off of each other. But those things can go in a driver's memory bank, and they can hold a grudge. And I think there might have been something to that, because on Saturday night, we saw this in the very beginning of the race, lap 3, lap 4, where Madden passed Ricky Thornton Jr. for the lead, and Thornton took exception to the way he was passed and immediately gave Madden a shot to the left rear quarter panel as soon as Madden got around him. Let's take a look at this right here.
And Shepard, if you can maintain a top 10 position, he can seal the deal. Down the back straightaway, Chris Smokey Madden to the race lead.
So obviously when I first looked at this, I think it's really hard to tell because they switched the camera angles really quickly, but it does look like that Madden does kind of drift over Ricky Thornton Jr.'s nose right there. And that might be why Ricky Thornton Jr. is very upset and gives him this shot in the shorts here.
Him and Thornton have raced each other pretty hard all weekend.
So you can see that there. And let's just back it up a little bit and see kind of this move here that Madden makes underneath Ricky Thornton Jr.
Top 10 position. He can seal the deal. Down the back straightaway, Chris.
So it's, again, like I said, they cut the angle right away there, so it's really hard to see it. But clearly, there's some contact happening right here. I can't tell if it's Madden going up the track, Thornton coming down the track. It is extremely difficult to tell based on what we're seeing here. Again, because they also cut the camera angle to a different one. But obviously, Ricky Thornton Jr. took exception to the way Madden was racing him right there, and obviously paid him back with that shot in the shorts. We then had this commentary from Ricky Thornton Jr. following the race. He told Dirt Vision's Hannah Newhouse, I guess guys quit throwing yellows or whatever the hell they were doing around the top. I don't know if they were blowing tires or what, but I feel like every time we get a little bit of a run, we get a yellow, of course, right when we get to traffic, obviously answering what he needed to do to win the race. He then appeared to direct his ire towards Madden, saying, I don't know, second left side he needs. I guess he needs them more than I do. So hopefully he goes to Sonoya next week. We'll take care of it. So obviously, Ricky Thornton Jr. Seemingly saying he's going to maybe potentially enact some kind of revenge against Chris Madden at Sonoya. Obviously, he is in a very close points battle for the Castrol Flow Racing Night in America Series, which is what will be where they'll be racing, the series that they'll be racing at Sonoya with Bobby Pierce. So we'll see what exactly happens there. But it didn't stop there, though, because then we saw this post-race photo that was shared by Tyler Erb. I think we now know that it is taken by Dirt on Dirts. I got his name down here a little bit further on the article. I think his name is Zach something. Last name escapes me. I'm sure we'll get to it when we get to it. But he took this photo. Tyler Erb shared it. He says, my guy Mikey looking like a straight male model on the front stretch. Abercrombie and Fitch signed this man now. And you can clearly see here, though, that Ricky Thornton Jr. and Madden are not happy with each other whatsoever. Clearly in each other's faces, giving each other some tough words there, but clearly no blows or anything like that. And we had this report here from dirtondirt.com's Kevin Kovac. He said the pair exchanged words in Victory Lane, and later in the pits, they were separated by security. I had a source tell me that a crew member for Madden informed Thornton that he didn't belong there and then shoved him. Security was then called to intervene. And that appears to be accurate because we got some new information from Kyle McFadden over at flowracing.com. He reports that Thornton did indeed take issue with the way Madden passed him on lap 3 of Saturday night's feature. Thornton informed Madden he didn't like, quote, how I got ran over earlier in Saturday's race, and that the contact killed Thornton's left front suspension. Thornton also shared that Madden clobbered me and explained the suspension damage, saying instead of my steering being straight, it was turned to the right by a quarter of a turn. It knocked it pretty far out. After that, I got to him a couple times, and he kind of chopped me. When he chopped me, it killed the nose and knocked the whole right front bumper way up. So obviously he's referring to the contact that happened around lap 32, where Ricky Thornton Jr. did indeed chase down Chris Madden it was like basically the longest green run of the race, got to him, kind of gave him a shot. And Thornton here saying that Madden chopped down on him, and that's why he gave him a shot again. Could also be talking about lap 3 there as well, where we kind of discussed that and watched that video. Anyways, Thornton goes on and says, when he chopped me, it killed the nose and knocked the whole right front bumper way up. After that, I couldn't turn down the corner like I needed to. This place, you need so much speed. Anytime you lose part of your nose like that is not ideal. Other than that, if we could have got to traffic, we might have had a shot to try something. Madden told his side of the story. He countered saying this to Flow Racing, that Thornton, quote, left the door open in 1 and 2, and I filled the hole, and he tried coming on back when I was there. We barely touched. If he calls that something, then he has a lot ahead of him in the racing world. He tried to crash me twice after that. That's not racing, man. Madden also made a point to reference Friday night to counter Thornton's accusation of running him over. And he said this, Friday, he spun out up here in 1 and 2. I'm in the middle of the racetrack, and he comes back across the racetrack, and he's plumb sideways. I guess he thinks I ran into him then. He's the one that spun out, was all up in the cushion, whatever. It is what it is. He can think what he wants to. I ain't going to lose no sleep over it. Interestingly, Madden made a point that it wasn't just Thornton who was mad at him, but Bobby Pierce was as well. He said, Bobby tried to wreck me in the dash. I just drove by them. I didn't have to be aggressive with nobody. So he's making all kinds of friends at World Finals. Chris Madden is seemingly. In regards to what was happening in the photo shared by Tyler Erb, there it is, Zach Yost, dirtondirt.com photographer Zach Yost. Thornton told this to Flow Racing. We were discussing the race. He wasn't happy with me. I wasn't happy with him. We left it at that and parted ways. And then his crew guy wants to start fighting. Kind of is what it is. And so that's basically what my source informed me, that it was Madden's crew guy who gave Thornton a shove and was seemingly, Thornton saying he was seemingly trying to goad him into a fight. And then obviously security showed up and separated that from happening. So my source appears to be corroborating here, or at least my source is being corroborated by what Ricky Thornton Jr. told Flow Racing. As far as Madden's perspective, he said, I ain't listening to nobody's mouth. So maybe he was egging on his crew guy to fight Ricky Thornton. I don't know. Maybe he's just was saying, like, I wasn't going to take anything from Ricky, and the crew guy was like, get out of here. And that's kind of what my source told me, that Madden's crew was like, get out of here, was kind of done with Ricky kind of confronting them and didn't want it to escalate or anything like that. So I think you can interpret that a number of ways there, but I think they both kind of match up to what my source told me. So that is the information we have, the more details that we have about this confrontation. We'll definitely be watching the race at Sonoya. If Madden does indeed show up, we'll see what happens between these guys. But let's say that I think that their championship experience clearly did not make these guys fast friends. The relationship has clearly gone south, and looks like they are rivals rather than friends at all. And I think I still think, as I said in my previous video, that there's clearly something else that happened behind the scenes that we still don't know about. I don't think it's just these on-track incidents. I think there was something that potentially happened with them, Madden being the crew chief, Thornton obviously being the driver, and something happening behind the scenes during the Lucas Oil series. I just don't think that this is just all coming from the on track incidents. I think there's more to it than just that. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below.